It's just more than a sport. I've never been a top prospect. Basically everything that you didn't want in an athlete, but I had heart and I came back and I worked as hard as I could.
All we needed was a 2-point conversion, and I guess that teaches you that those good moments and those good feelings can go by just like that, and to not take anything for granted, I guess.
My name is Brock Gallenlock. I play defensive end for the University of Manitoba.
Macho, wide receiver, University of Manitoba Bisons.
I started playing football when I was 8 years old. My brother had played football before me, and he switched over into hockey, and I just finished playing basketball, and I wanted to quit every single day, so my mom was looking for something new. My brother recommended football, and then I picked that up.
I started playing football in grade 11. The main reason was I had some friends at my high school that wanted me to come out and try it, and my coach had asked me to come out a bunch, and I thought, why not give it a try?
The biggest challenge that I've had to overcome during my football career would be, I think, being from a small town. I didn't have a lot of exposure growing up. I didn't have a lot of the hype that other people had. Coming out of high school, I had zero college interest. I had to go to about 4 or 5 different spring camps for junior football just to get noticed. After that, I moved on to a junior program, had to stick it out for a bit there for 2 years to eventually get onto the stage for where I could receive some college offers. And then, yeah, so it's always been just being an underdog and kind of creating that mentality. No matter what, no matter where you come from, just keep working, and you'll eventually get to where you want to go.
I'd say this season, for example, I messed up my shoulder pretty bad in game 1 against Sask, and it's something that I had to play with throughout the entire season, when in many other seasons that weren't, your combine year, a lot of guys would have sat out. I was told to sit out. I was advised to take some time off if I didn't miss a game, and it was a big mental battle to know that painkillers, stretching, rehab isn't going to change the fact that I just need time to heal, and I didn't have that because I didn't want to miss a game. So I think adversity the biggest adversity I'd faced football-wise would be dealing with a big injury in the most important year of my football career. Typically, I go with like a smoothie every day. It's usually the same smoothie too. Get some toast in there or a bagel. When I have a little bit extra time in the morning, I go with eggs too. Yeah, I drink coffee every morning. I'm just not as dramatic as Brock when it comes to coffee.
Combine being canceled, it's kind of a disappointment for sure. Like, we've been putting months and months and months of work in just for this one single event.
That's tough, because that's something that we trained for our whole lives. And especially this past off season, putting a lot of hours into it every day, 3 times a day, that type thing. So it's tough, but it's just something that we got to adjust to.
Experience of the combine is something that it's like truly a sentimental thing that everybody really wants to experience as they're going through this process. It's a big process, or it's a big step in the process of getting drafted, and it's a really cool opportunity to show off all your skill sets in front of all the coaches. But
I could sit here and be upset about it forever, and so could the other guys too, but you gain nothing from it. My biggest thing that I try to focus on is control what you can control, and that being canceled isn't something that we can control, but how we respond and train in light of that is, that's something that we can focus on.
Hey, film don't lie, so if you got good film, you're still gonna get drafted really at the end of the day.
No, I wouldn't say that is too tough. Like, watching what I eat isn't too difficult. At the same time, I wasn't nearly as big as Brock was back in the day.
I did used to have a problem with my diet. Just a lot of refined foods, refined carbohydrates, sugars, basically a lot of stuff to build up a 320-pound human. So, you know, it's taken me about 4 years to get the recipe down, but it seems to be going good. The thing about losing weight is you lose a lot of your strength with it. My coach says it's physics, so I'll believe him. But yeah, so my strength went down a lot when I first started to lose weight. My explosiveness and my speed went up, so it kind of counterbalanced with it a lot. But coming into this season, or this off season, I'm for sure the strongest I've ever been, the most explosive I've ever been, and the fastest I've ever been. So yeah, I think my nutrition's pretty on point.
I guess the biggest mistake I've made in a game, or in football in general, probably was, you know, losing my cool against the U of A one game. You know, it makes you see things differently when you see how it affects your team, and that we're taking a penalty now for something that you did, and you realize that your actions have a far greater impact than you'd imagined, and it affected everyone on the field, everyone that wasn't on the field, anyone involved with our team. If we had went and lost that game now, I would feel some amount of responsibility there, and that's not a situation I want to be in. So from that point on, I knew and told myself that I'd never take an unnecessary penalty that could hurt our team or do anything along those lines ever again.
So what are your goals in life?
I want to be a pro football player. That's what I'm working towards right now, and that's obviously my main focus right now. But you know, life doesn't end after football. There's a lot more to look forward to after that. I got a degree that I'll be graduating with in May, and I want to work in finance after that and enjoy a pro career until then is the goal.
But yeah, like my goals in life are not just football based. I really want to be able to help as many people as I can. So just kind of working in the foster care system and stuff like that, I've kind of seen the adversity that people go through in their life, and I really would like to be able to help them out and put them onto a platform to get them the help that they need. So if I were to make it to the CFL and be able to use that platform, it would be an awesome way to kind of display it on a national level or even an international level. I grew up in a single home. My mom was a very hardworking lady. She always had to take care of us, but we kind of had to get out, and if there's anything extra that we want in this world, we had to work for it. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of adversity I had to go through. Not saying I went without at any point, but I definitely, anything that we needed extra, me and my brother, we always had to go out and work for it. So it's kind of at 12 years old, working in a heavy duty mechanic shop, you know, trying to get that new PS3. So just kind of stuff like that.
Today we're working at the Golf Dome with Recruit Ready. I've been training with them, honestly, since I started playing football. And they've got a good group of coaches that get a bunch of young guys ready to play at the next level. And that's where I started out training for football, and that's not something that I plan on changing.
And how have they helped you get to where you are now?
Just giving me a platform to compete against the other players in the province that you want to be competing with. All the best players come here to train. So getting that opportunity to compete with them every morning is just something that develops you to get to a place you wouldn't expect, and the coaches know what they're talking about. So the feedback, the advice, you know, the field work, everything that they've done has been a huge part of my growth as a football player.
All right, let's get this working. What wakes me up in the morning is just to strive to better myself every single day. Human beings are a being that can consistently grow. Maybe not physically, but mentally you can grow every single day. So I just want to wake up and better myself every single day. Get up, go to school, listen in all my classes, attain as much information as I can, hit the gym, get as much stronger and much better at football as I can, and come back at the end of the day just being able to look in the mirror and say, yeah, you did the best thing you could to better yourself today.
What gets me up in the morning is whatever I've got going on that day, whatever the challenge is, the biggest challenge I've got, whether it's a workout early, a field session early, whether I've got class, an exam, a game. It's motivating to me to go and crush whatever I have planned for that day, and there's no benefit to sleeping in another hour when you can go just get a head start on that School is huge for me. You know, no matter how great you are at football, it's going to end at some point. And having that foundation in school is something that I've always valued, and that's why all the effort I put into my sport and to my craft is the same amount of effort as what I'm putting into my schooling and my homework and making sure that my grades are where they need to be, so I'm setting myself up for the future.
School is important. School's a struggle, or was a struggle for me. It's become better. Graduating high school, I had like a 55 average or something like that. As of right now, I've been a scholarship athlete every single year. I've really put it into a focus. I've really tried my best to do my best and get good grades, like currently sitting at 3.0 average. And it took a lot of work and a lot of years of not knowing how to do certain things and developing your own study habits. After last year's Calgary game, I learned a pretty valuable lesson was, like, we're not done, man. Like, I know this is the path to the draft and this is what we're filming and documenting here, but I'm so excited to come back if that's the opportunity that comes back. Like, we're one play away from beating the Vanier Cup champions, and that just really shows everybody on our team, like, hey, we're right there. When we all put our minds together, we can put up 30 points in a quarter against the Vanier Cup champions. That means we have a chance.
You know, when you get to their 5-yard line, was it, you feel like you kind of have it in the bag. All we needed was a 2-point conversion, and I guess that teaches you that those good moments and those good feelings can go by just like that, and to not take anything for granted, I guess.
I'd say that I'm a lead by example teammate. I definitely I'm a very passionate teammate. I care about my brothers. I can be pretty emotional. And I definitely want to win. No matter what, at the end of the day, it's about getting the W. I
describe myself as a leader on the team, someone that you can come to for advice, for help, whether it's football related, school related, life related in general. Someone who's there for his teammates, someone who's a friend in the locker room. I'd like to know, and I'd like to say that my guys know that I'll be upbeat, positive, and 100% motivated in everything I do, whether we're in practice or on the field. And yeah, someone who they know is going to be competing 100%. And I feel like that's what a good leader should be doing at all times, giving it their all.
Worst game of my college career, I think would probably be, there's multiple. In my first year when we were playing against Calgary and we were playing against Alberta, they both had very good offensive lines. And it was definitely a culture shock and a level shock. I came from junior, which there's good players in junior, but it's definitely a step up when you come to youth sports. I was playing against guys who started and made CFL rosters right away, and those guys were very, very difficult competition, and they kind of put their work in on me. And yeah, you could go check the tape from 2016. There's some tough games in there, but it really, really focused me and made me know what I had to do in the off season to come back and be better. I'd tell a kid who wanted to start playing football that it's just more than a sport. You learn so many life lessons that the sport is open for everybody. Everybody can play it. You can be a kicker, you can be a running back, you can be a receiver. So there's a spot for everybody on your team, on a team, as long as you work as hard as you can.
You know, dive right into it. no need to be scared. There's nothing wrong with failing and not being good the first time. Not everyone goes out there and is great their first time. I wasn't, and a bunch of people that I've seen aren't. So I'd say just give it a try. I know a lot of people that didn't play beforehand and tried it even at a later age. I did, and it was one of the best decisions that I've made in my life. So